Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Stand Up Speakeasy. I'm your host, Sareth Ney. In every episode, I bring a comic that's going to be on Sareth Fest this year. So without further ado, welcome to Uncle Tony. How are you, pal?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm hot. I'm outside. I'm in between yard work, and I thought I'd slip in here and do my little job interview.
Nice.
I told people that I had an interview today at one. They're like, "Oh, what job is it for?" And I'm like, "Come on, it's for Starbucks." Duh. No way I work there.
Indeed. Where are you at now?
I'm on the side of the house. I'm on the let's see, the west side of the mansion,
Nice.
the plantation.
I thought you might be at a coffee shop or something, but
Well, yeah, I call it my coffee shop. I mean, got my little half umbrella out here, and I don't know. It's my outdoor office. It's my Florida man office. That's what I call
there
it.
you go. Good
Yeah,
old Florida man office.
good.
So your style of comedy is like a different character voices. So how did you discover your character voice and your past jobs and the people you've met?
Well, the voices stuff started, and I think it was middle school. It was middle school. Do you remember the intercom systems in class where the office would call the students or whatever?
Mhm.
Yeah, we used to do that, and I used to. Me and a couple friends would be in on it, and I would mock it. I'd put my elbow like on the desk and be like, "Excuse me," and to make it sound like the office. And nine times out of the ten, the teachers would, "Yes, yes," and me and my friends would just die laughing. One time, I need to send Tony to the office. I told them to send me to the office, and they're like, "Go ahead." And then when I got out in the hallway, I was like, "Shit, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. I'm gonna get caught." I should. So I went back in, and I'm like, "Yeah, they didn't need me or whatever." But yeah, that's where I started figuring out that I can not mock people, but mimic. I guess is the proper word. And I did that for the longest time, even making calls, or people would call me. That's where I practice a lot. Is what do you call those calls that they try to sell stuff? Uh,
Like telemarketers?
Solicitor. Yeah, yeah. They would call me, and I would totally try different voices on them because why not? So that's where I honed them in. What was the other question you asked? I'm sorry.
Oh, your material comes from past jobs and the people you've met. Yeah.
Yeah, having ADD, believe it or not, I've had quite a few jobs. So I met quite a few people and experienced a lot of things from construction to, being a cook, painting, owning my own businesses. And I incorporate that into my sets as far as the voices and characters that I've ran into and crazy things that I've seen or done. Mostly mostly just situations like on the job, like say construction when I used to build fake rocks at Disney and Universal. I remember, the situation, the paint machine, wasn't working correctly and was kind of shaking it, just a little bit, not too hard. And I remember the Imagineer, those guys that are engineers, but they have like the Mickey ears on their hard hat and walk around and bug all everybody. And he was like, excuse me, are you manhandling that machine? And always thought, what does that mean? I mean, we're in construction, we're a bunch of men. We manhandle stuff. Am I supposed to, like, woman hand? I mean, what do you want me to do? It's not working. I kick it like my wife at home. No, I'm kidding. I don't do that. Yeah, situations like that I talk about, of course, it's a lot funnier on stage.
Big time. Yeah, I found out, like there's some things we can say off stage that we don't normally say in normal conversations.
For sure. Like the N word. I love Ninja, all the time. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
I look like a Ninja Turtle, so I totally get it.
No, Ninja Wu Tang. Wu Tang Turtle.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's okay.
It's
Awesome.
good coffee.
I bet. What's your favorite flavor?
Oh, Colombian. Always Colombian. The good
Oh,
Colombian, though. No fake Colombian. I
for
like the
sure.
good stuff. I get it shipped to me from Medellin. No, I don't, but I wish I could.
That'd be too expensive for sure.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
worth it.
I'm like, just give me a matcha from Dunkin', I'll be good. So,
Yeah, Dunkin' was my go-to instead of Starbucks for the longest time because that Starbucks Pike's Place, man, ooh, it's like melted plastic or something. And they're like, well, that's our most popular variety. And I'm like, well, that's from Washington. That's the opposite side of this nation. People in Florida don't like that crap, man. Damn.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Just give me the triple filtered water and I'll be good from
Yeah.
Starbucks.
Yeah, for real. Or what's the medicine ball or whatever drink they have? That's
I
gimmick,
don't
isn't it?
know.
I
I
never for
rarely go to Starbucks. I'm totally a Dunkin' dude.
for real. I can't afford Starbucks either. I'm like, geez, it's falling down. It's slowly going downhill too. Thank God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
And if it's not Starbucks or Dunkin' or whatever, I go to like, Austin's or like I prefer like the mom and pop shops over.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Austin's is that's like crack cocaine coffee. That stuff you'll never get to bed. Eat one sip of that, and you're like, ping, ready to go. Then
Yeah.
you I just went to their mic actually this past Sunday, and I was thinking about that coffee. The one time I did it a couple of years ago, I drank some coffee there, and then went on stage, and I felt like I couldn't catch up to my mouth because I was talking so fast. But I was like, oh my gosh, that's some crazy. You could be an auctioneer of that stuff. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Some
Like a kung
auctioneer
fu
coffee.
flick, like one of those kung fu flicks where your mouth doesn't match your lips.
Yeah. No, that's me all day, all the time. I gotta either my phone needs to catch up with me, or I need to catch up with my mouth. Or my fries just need ketchup. What? Sorry.
And their food is pretty awesome too. So, yep. Shout out to Austin's. Always a fun time.
Oh yeah,
Um, yep. But yeah, I love the comedy hangs there. There's so many comedians on a Sunday night there. It's just so fun.
it
Uh,
is. It is. One of the guys from the Bushwick Bill was there many years ago. Made an appearance from Ghetto Boys.
uh-huh.
He was in there. There's pictures of him too on the internet when he was there doing his thing. I'm like, man, imagine that. Imagine being at an open mic on a Sunday with your friends and Bushwick Bill comes walking. Oh my gosh,
And
it's gonna be a good
your mind's not even playing tricks on you. It's really there. He's really.
yeah, that's the first thing that I would think is my mind playing tricks on me. Great. Now that song's gonna be in my head all day, which that's not too bad.
Oh man, have you seen the Scarface Tiny Desk concert that he did for
Oh
NPR?
no, but I'm willing to watch it.
Oh, I'll send you the link, so I'll take note of it. So
Okay.
send Uncle Tony Scarface on NPR. It's fantastic.
Cricket.
Yep. And the most recent one with the locks is pretty amazing too. So gotta check that out too.
Cool.
So yep, I saw their verses with Dipset, and I was like, man, the locks just mopped them up. It's just amazing.
I love all kinds of
Good.
music too, man. Like uh, all kinds. My preferred music is, believe it or not, is Latin jazz, man. Something
Oh,
about Latin
nice.
jazz, damn. You could be anywhere and just be you feel chill, not sleepy, not tired, not hyper, but just chill. You know, um, good times.
Most definitely.
Bossa Nova type stuff for sure.
I'll have to look up Boston over too. Like when I lived in LA, I went to this place called the Baked Potato all the time, and it was like a jazz club. But they gave us like when they served potatoes, they were so massive, like Idaho style potatoes.
Whoa.
They just like stuffed it. It was massive. But like I saw like the drummer from Tool from there, Danny Carey. He had like two other bands that he played jazz in, and it was
Oh
just
man,
amazing to see him
I
up
didn't know.
close. So
I didn't
yeah,
know they had a
so
band that
definitely
plays jazz. What the hell?
yeah, look them up. They're called
That's
one's
cool.
called Bubbatron and the other one's called Volto. So they're
And they just
amazing.
went up 3 notches in coolness by knowing that now. Wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's true
And
talent.
he'd always be late because like he'd always go watch the Lakers game, and so they'd always hold off the show for him. Like, all right, we'll wait till he comes back from the Staples Center when it was called the Staples Center, because Danny's watching the Lakers game, so we gotta hold up on him.
Man, good times. God, I can't
Oh,
imagine being in that situation. That'd be pretty cool.
oh heck yeah, dude.
So,
Oh man, I love different styles too. It just depends on because I used to be a concert journalist out in Los Angeles, so I'd go to like all those historic venues all the time and just write articles for free, just show my ID and walk in. And I saw like 50 years of music in like 2 years. It was wild.
man, good times, dude. Music changes. Music. Thank God for music. If we didn't have music, oh my gosh, life would really suck. It would suck cutting the grass. It would suck working. It would suck dry. Like so many times, I utilize music, and don't really realize how lucky we are. I guess I don't know. We're so
Big
lucky to have
time.
music.
Absolutely. Yep, that's why like the Strathfest in Pueblo, Colorado is mostly music because that's where how we started, and so there's so many different genres of music, and it's free to get in. It was at the Blowback Gallery this past year, and it was just like donate what you want, enjoy the great music, all the comedy and all that stuff for free. It's like a real live streaming service, so it's
Oh
pretty
wow,
rad.
that sounds
Yeah.
cool. My
So
neck is turning this way, and I think because my tripod, and I keep seeing myself in the little thing here. I want to do it this way. It goes this way. I'm weird. I'm sorry.
it's okay, no worries. So you opened for Dino Napolitano, and he's such a great guy, and I got to see his one man show, the Bart Brothers. And so, how'd you link up with Dino Napolitano?
I this was years ago. There was a Club 39 on I Drive. It was one of the Rosen hotels. I don't remember which one, but it was a really fancy club. I mean, really nice. And I think it was Bonkers that contacted. They just needed an opener. I didn't know who the headliner was, so the opener. And then I got there, and Billy King was hosting, I think, that night, and Dean was there, and he's like, "Hey man, blah blah, how much time you got?" I'm like, yeah, I was still new, maybe 5 minutes, and he's like, "Do as much time as you want, take your time, blah blah blah." And he's just amazing, nice, fun, supportive guy, and to watch his magic when he does crowd work is phenomenal. I mean, I know he's been doing it for a while, but the way he does crowd work, I love it. I mean, it's something to cherish and to learn from. As a comedian, I'm blown away every time. I'm just in awe, like just watching him, and it gets better and better every time. He's a good guy. He really is. Let's see. Last time I saw him was probably 2 years ago. We had a little lunch and talked about some comedy things, and I wanted to see his one man show too, man. That just started right last week or
Oh yeah,
a couple
I
weeks.
think this is the second one that he's doing. So he's
Okay,
yep,
it's
uh,
delaying, right?
I think so.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
That's so
because
cool.
he lives in that area or something. But yeah, there's like a really small theater, and like Chris Robinson was there with me, and we were just like in awe of like all the work that he put in. Like he incorporated in his entire family in the
Oh, really?
production. Yeah, it was so cool.
Damn, I'm gonna have to check it out. Chris Robinson's cool too, man. He's a cool dude. I love that
Mm,
guy. There's not
That's for
nobody that I don't like, actually. I mean, there's a couple bookers in certain places that a lot of people aren't getting along with, but we won't talk about it.
that's for sure. We'll talk about him off air.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can spill the tea with me privately.
Oh,
So.
I'm sure you know some of it already, considering where you're at, what part of Florida.
Mm,
Yeah, giggity.
okay,
Oh,
yeah,
say.
yeah, awesome. Well, hopefully I represent Daytona in a good way. So,
Everybody loves you,
um,
Sareth. Everybody loves you, man.
I try, but um, it's and that's why I love you. That's why I'm having you on the fest this year. It's like you deserve your flowers already. So you've been putting in the mileage and stuff. So,
Oh my gosh. And then now I'm giving back with my own shows, producing my own shows for local young comics, paying them, you know, a good chunk of money, I'm just telling somebody today, I always leave negative. I'm like pretty bad at business, but it's good for the community, but I always leave negative. Like, man, where did all my money go? I'm paying these guys too much money, but they have fun, they get support, and that's what it's all about. I love my community. I hope to one day start I think I told you some type of homeless benefit or awareness, because there's nothing like that has been done in Orlando yet, like a big comedy festival show, whatever you want to call it, but all for awareness and raise money for these homeless people in Orlando. It's sad, man. I mean, it's sad everywhere. I get it. And then, there's people that come to me, but why don't you do it for just the vets? And I'm like, no, this is for everybody, man, not just the vets. You know what I mean? I love the vets, don't get me wrong, but this is for the whole spectrum of people that are the vets and the families and kids. And I mean, it's so hot. Everything's so expensive here. Those poor people, I really feel for them. But I had a lot of people reach out to me, heavy hitters, musicians and comics that want to be a part of it, and they don't expect anything in return as far as money wise or whatever. And I was almost cried, you know what I mean? Because I was like, damn, I got some good friends, and to have them come together and do that. I want to do it sometime next year. I'm still working out the logistics, and talking with a few people that I guess know their stuff. I have a meeting next week with someone who moved here from New York, who started a film agency, and he knows about benefit things like that. So I'm gonna pick his brain and see if he can help me, and I'm sure he'll be able to do that. He's got connections with the Cohen brothers, so maybe something can be done. Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. And like it reminds me of like Comic Relief with like Whoopi Goldberg and Billy Crystal and everybody.
Oh, you're right. I
Yeah,
remember now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Something like that. Like I want to have it. You know, the people that I guess I could do it at like an improv or the Funny Bone, but in my mind's eye, I see kind of like a field, but not during the hot months. You know what I mean? Like a field with like bands in between comics, maybe. Like that's separating them. I don't know, but it's slowly evolving. You know, and the fact that I have so many people that are willing and wanting to do it. Like I said, I haven't contacted anybody. They've messaged me like over, I don't know, 10, 12 people out of the blue. And I'm like, fuck. Because I posted something on Instagram about, why can't we do this? Why hasn't this been done? Why can't we do this for the people? I mean, they give back to our community, comes to see us live. They support us. Let's support our community by helping out the homeless, whether it be mustard seed or what have I don't haven't decided which one, maybe all of them. I don't know. But there are people that's what they specialize in. You know what I mean? Of course, I'm outside and the neighbor decides to do something, a weed or
yeah.
something.
I put salt, service, and love together on the description box because it's like the first thing that popped up as in Google search. So hopefully that's okay if we can donate like the proceeds from this episode to them. If
Oh,
that's all
wow.
right.
That would
Yeah,
be very awesome. Um, I have a few friends that, work for the city too that I need to contact and they would know the right people, I guess, like Badadar, Mayor Badadar, you
yeah.
know.
And I think Rudy Malumba works for the city too. So reach out to him. He's a comic.
Okay.
Yep.
That sounds like a plan. Yeah, I mean, you see how it slowly comes together, like with the right people and everybody who is positive and appreciates life. I mean, it kind of slowly comes together, and it's all about being a positive person. I believe everything. Shoot, duh.
Most definitely. Absolutely. And so yeah, so definitely donate to them and follow Uncle Tony on all those social media stuff on the bottom there so you can keep posted about where he have his next shows and stuff.
Oh, there's a chat.
And yeah, yeah. If I learned anything from like putting like alternating comics and musicians is like have them have like either their own stage or their own night because like when the bands are setting up and tearing down, like they make too much noise over the punchlines and the setups and stuff, so you can't hear what they're trying to say.
Oh, I
So I
know.
learned that from like the first couple years of this festival. So just wanted to
Oh
keep you
man,
heads up. So
those little things. Thank you. Good pointers. You know what I mean? I definitely would want to do it though. Like I said, when it's not 1,000 degrees, like Africa hot. I want to
yeah,
like spring, early spring, or Novemberish. Where it's cooler for sure, not
most
dripping.
definitely. And also like another thing I would do is like put the musicians in the beginning, and then put the comedians at night, so that way you don't make the neighbors angry around you.
Oh
So
yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't do it at my house. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But that is an idea, though. I guess these pop-up comedy shows, whatever. I think some of them they do in people's backyards. So I
yeah,
mean, there's all kind of options, and who says you have to do just one? Do multiple.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Like
different
in St.
scales.
Augustine, they have this thing called Porch Fest in like the Lincoln part of the city, and so like all the musicians perform on the porches. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, they do that in Sanford too. Sanford does a porch fest as well. That's a great idea. That's so cool, and it's
Yeah,
perfect for those types of homes, that have the front porches and stuff. But where I'm at, I just have back porches. They're snotty. So
indeed.
snobby.
Yeah. So you had an interesting run-in with Drake when he
Oh,
yeah, when he saw your set a couple years ago, and you bought him beer afterwards and talked about soccer. So what
check
was
this
that
out.
whole thing like?
This is a crazy story. This is when he released the album with Rihanna. I don't know how many years ago that was. 10. I don't know how many years ago that was. Walk, 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 whatever song, that album. And, okay, so I was at the other bar, downtown Wall Street in Orlando. It was a tryout for host. I think it was a contest to be a host for Bonkers. And so they wanted young comics. I was young. Let me go do my thing. And I went there, did my thing. I didn't think it was that great. It was one of those like, man, could have done better. I forgot a lot of stuff. So I was like, let me go to the other side because at the time the other bar had like another room you can go on the other side and chill and talk or whatever. Same bar, but you know. And so I went to the other side. I was sitting there. This dude taps me on the shoulder and he goes, "Hey man, great set." And I was like, "Thanks, thanks. I really appreciate that. Hey, can I buy you a beer?" And for a second, I'm like, "Oh shit, this guy's gay or something." You know what I mean? I think he said, "Nothing. I don't mean nothing by. I just wanted to buy you a beer." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine." But he didn't ask me what I wanted, right? Like he just told the bartender, "Yeah, a Bud Light for my friend here," and then he got a Blue Moon or whatever drink. Which at first I was like, I hate Budweiser. I don't like it, and I didn't say that. I'm like, no, I don't like that. I just sat there with it, and then he's talking about I don't know what he was saying, but his friend that was with him, he had a big dude that was with him and a really hot chick, and the big dude nudged me, and he goes, "Yo, you know who that is, right?" And I'm like, "No," because at the time, you know, I didn't know. I wasn't listening to pop. I don't. He goes, "That's Drake," and my head was like, "Drake, Drake, Drake, Drake. I don't know Drake." Okay, I didn't. Well, I still didn't know. I didn't click, and I just kept talking. And he's like, "So you like sports or anything?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Orlando City, And then he's like, "Yeah, I like soccer too." But I remember this dude smelled so good, man. Like I don't know what cologne he had, but it was so amazing. And he had like a paisley flower button down and smelled so good. And I'm not gay, and I have nothing against gays, but damn, I would have kissed that guy. He smells so good. But so, anyways, I like took a picture with him, like or like like on the corner. I had my hand over here and kind of took a picture to nonchalantly send to my wife and say, "Who the fuck is Drake?" Right? This guy says he's Drake. Who is Drake? And she sends me this text like freaking out. "Oh my god!" Like big word. That's blah 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 blah. And I'm like, still who? Because I didn't know. I'm an old man. Everybody in the world, I guess, knew who it was. But I guess that might have been right before he really blew up. Blew up. You know what I mean? But I guess he was flying back from Miami and had to fuel some jet for wherever he was going. They were at the Herndon Airport, the executive airport, and he just had some time to kill. So he was hanging out downtown for a little bit and then was jetting off. But yeah, every time I tell that story to friends, they don't believe me and everything. My wife, she believed me because I sent her the pics and everything. And then he was talking about the time, or she showed me on his Instagram a picture that he had took at that location in the background, and it was where we were. It wasn't of me or anything, but so sure enough. But now I look back and I'm like, fuck, that was Drake, man. Had I had known, how big he was gonna be or whatever, yo, man, let me open up for you or something, anything, I can run your mics or that would have been nerdy though, fanning out like that, which I don't really do. I was just talking to someone yesterday about that. If I were to meet, like, say, Iron Man, what's his name? Robert Downey Jr.
Danny Jr.
I wouldn't freak out. He's cool as hell, but I think I'd still be like, hey, man, I think because I'm real. I don't know. I don't know why, but I treat him like I treat you or anybody. Just hang out and talk and not flare up. Sorry, I get sidetracked sometimes. So yeah, that's my story about Drake, and now I know who Drake is, and I'll never forget that his smell is like a sweet, fruity cologne kind of. Man, it was good. Should have asked him. Hey, what's that cologne you're wearing? Oh, you Game Boy? No.
Let me sniff you again. No.
So yeah,
But
me
that's
and
nice. He
Drake.
bought you a drink though, so that's pretty nice
I
of him.
know, but and then when he left, I told the bartender, I'm like, can I? I didn't drink this. Can I trade this for something different? And she was cool about it. I was like, oh, thank goodness. Budweiser.
I don't even
But that
drink
was
at
rude, right?
all.
Don't you
So
think that was rude? Like, hey, what kind of beer you drink? Would you want? He just ordered it for me. That was kind of because I'm white. Yeah, like all white guys like Budweiser.
I'm like, I got drunk a couple times, like in my early 20s. I'm like, this is like not me. So I'm like, I don't even drink. It's
In
so
the aesthetic,
gross.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like it. I'd rather have a Capri Sun. No. That'd be a good name for a shot. I bet it probably is one. You know.
They have those adult ones.
Oh, what?
They have adult Capri Suns over at some bars.
Ooh, like a
Yep.
pouch
Hmm.
with a little alcohol in it.
Yep.
What? What?
Yeah.
Does Chiranog have
No.
that?
But I don't
No.
think they have their liquor license, but like I'm pretty sure there's a bunch in Orlando that does have the
Dang.
adult Capri Suns.
I'm gonna have to Google that then. The adult Capri Suns near me.
Like I always make fun, like I always tease like Ellie and Edvin that they're like they look like Drake from they look like Drake. So it's like uh those Orlando comics, Ellie, Hassan, and Edvin.
I don't. I'm better with faces. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries.
I
Yeah, they're
seen a
like
few people that look like famous people that I. Why are you trying to look like that? I tell them all the time, like, can't you just be original, man? Stop trying to look like somebody else.
for sure. So you mentioned like when you met Drake, you were part of that competition for hosting for Bonkers and stuff. Is that how you got your foot in the door, or
No, I didn't win that one. I
oh,
didn't win that one, and then there was another one 5 years ago or something, and it was another company. This time I brought some people, like I brought a crowd of people, and I did good, and I got a spot, but I only wanted to do guest spots. I never wanted to host Bonkers. It's just at the time it wasn't my thing. I'm like, that's lame. That's boring. I don't want to do this. I want to do my stuff and blah 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 blah. And then I found out that guest spots you don't get paid. You only get at the most maybe 5 minutes, um, and then that's it. They throw you to the curb and you're done. But now, so I'd won that thing, and whenever I would call Bonkers, I would always say for a guest spot, not the host spot. So I never did any hosting, and you're supposed to do that first before guesting or whatever. So in more recent times, 6 months ago, now 3 months ago, I re-signed with Bonkers to do hosting again, and I've hosted 2 times now, and for Bonkers, but I've hosted at other places, and then doing my own show hosting, and I kind of like it now. Now that I've done it, I'm like, man, people were right. Maybe I would be better at hosting. Like Mike Lee, before he opened the Laugh Out Loud Lounge, he wanted me to be the house MC, the house host. And I was like, buddy, you're in Lakeland. I'm in East Orlando. I don't know about the gas going back and forth there. And I apologize. I'm sorry, I have to turn it down. So it was one of those things where, damn, had I had stuck with it, I'd be broke as a gas. No, it would have been. I like hosting. I like hosting now. Good times. I'm still get a little nervous, but you know what? Bill Kilpatrick told me this years ago. If you're not feeling nervous before a show or anything, it's not fun anymore. It's more like a job and like, oh, I got to do this. So I do feel nervous and anxious hours before a show. I'll get ready. Like the show's at 11 o'clock. Looking at my watch. Okay, I got this time. I'm ready to go. What do I need? That's the ADD. It's just one of those things which I'd like to bring awareness to uh, comedy as well. It's been helpful doing comedy, other than remembering stuff.
oh yeah. Yep, I feel you on that one. I get like really bad anxiety, and I'm like, you know what? As soon as that happens, mostly leading up to the festivals, and then like it's like, all right, it's in God's hands. It's like
Yo, you're
whatever
right.
happens, happens.
You're so right. That's the best way to think. And a lot of times I was self medicating, with beer or whatever, which is totally wrong. And I thought that this was helping me be a better comic and more funnier. But that's all in your head. It's an illusion, of who you think you are. And now I You use it as a crutch, alcohol or anything. I'll have a few beers every now and then, or a couple before I go up, but not like years ago when I was getting trashed before on stage because I'm funny. Rah, rah, rah. No, no more. That was embarrassing. Although I killed it a few times. I'm not gonna lie. Being hammered at Sluice back in those days. You remember that, man?
Oh yeah, sleuths.
Gosh, such a good time.
Oh yeah, I missed hitting all three in one night with like, Drunken Monkey, Bush, and Sleuths.
Yes,
Like it was
yes,
such an adventure. It was so
yes,
fun. But now we don't
yes.
have that. It's like, oh man.
I know the Drunken Monkey was every Friday and Saturday, man. That was a thing a lot of comics looked out after, but I guess they tried it again after COVID, and one person was being offensive to one of their employees, and they were like, no, no, we're not doing this. I'm like, man, I wonder who that was. It's just killed it for everybody.
Yeah,
God,
it's a huge bummer. And I'm like, gosh, pre-COVID, everything was popping, and and Daytona was like, we're just gonna just take 4 months off and then just go back to normal. It's just,
yeah. Before COVID, there was a mic. I think every night of the week in Orlando, an open mic night every night of the week, and then now there's not one on Friday, Saturday. So we definitely need like another open mic on a Friday or Saturday around here. I'm not gonna start one because I'm not running that. Little
mm-mm.
broke ass comics ordering water, and a business looks at you. Hey man, we're not making any money. Hey man, you're the one that wanted open mic. I told you this wasn't gonna work out after a few months. Although
Yep,
some open mics work out. Some of them. I guess it depends on the host and the business, right?
big time. That's why I'm like, I got blessed with a new room called Punk Rock Pizza, and so like,
Really?
yep, it's in Daytona. So it's like, Roy is gonna help me. Hopefully, we're gonna tag team in because we're gonna alternate. But I'm like, we're gonna give the like my portion. I'm just gonna give the funds to like the comics because I'm like, just give me like, I just want to take care of you guys because like it's just I. I've seen so many comics just do shows that pay at the door and they don't get a piece of the pie,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I don't like that. Like they're the
No,
ones that are bringing the jokes and the funny. It's like treat them better.
for sure. I used to really like the when the bucket would get passed around at the end of the night. But then again, you don't know if you're leaving with $3 or $12. You know what I mean? Just enough to get some chicken nuggets on the way home. But yeah, if you're getting paid this set amount, like I do, I'm not gonna lie, I pay my feature comics $20 each. Sometimes a free drink too. Each of them gets $20, and then the headliner I pay obviously a lot more. But they love it. That's like gold to them. They're like, oh, I really needed this for gas or laundry or whatever. And I remember being at that age, young in the 20s, and I mean, you need cash when you're in your 20s for whatever. And I feel not like their daddy, but their uncle, maybe, I guess, Uncle Tony taking care of my nephews and nieces. And they appreciate that. And they really do. They tell me afterwards. These young comics, a few of them will say, thank you for doing that for me. I really needed that. And this helps out. So, and that makes me feel good inside. And knowing that they're not going to starve that night, at least,
Yeah.
at least they can afford a Whopper, considering everything's so expensive nowadays. You know what I mean? I mean, man, McDonald's. I went through there. I haven't been to McDonald's in a long time, and I went through the drive-through the other day on the way home from a show, and I was like, no way. This is what like sit-down restaurant prices used to be for burgers. This is crazy, man. So I got the hell out of there, and like, I don't know. Remember they used to have like dollar menus and all that. What the hell? Like, bring it back, man.
Yeah. And that's why I go to Checkers now. It's like it's 2 for 4, or if you get a double, it's like 2 for 6, and it's just like
I can do
it
that.
fills me up. So,
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll fill up with some checkers. I love
hmm
me some checkers. I like
hell
playing
yeah,
checkers.
yeah. Same here. I'm bad at it, but I'll still play. And from Bonkers, you also did Jackie Knights, and they're not around anymore. But I performed at the first two locations, but not the third, the Italian restaurant one. But man, Jackie Knight was amazing. So how do you link up with Jackie Knight?
The first time was I think like the first year I start. No, maybe the second year. Yeah, she's they had the contest, at the beginning where they have like young comics from around the state, and whoever wins, they get a feature set or whatever. And man, I look back on, think about the way I was when I first started. Those jokes were, oh god, I know we all evolve, I get it, but man, it's still cringeworthy. And to think that she chose me, or whatever the audience chose for a feature, and I came back maybe 4 times, you know, before she had went to the Italian restaurant thing or whatever. But she's always been supportive of me. Such a great person. Her rooms were magical, I guess is the right word. I mean, it was truly magical. I love that room. Um, Now I'm down to my son. My son's up in college in Vermont, so we had gotten a truck, my uncle's old truck, the '96 F-150, that was slowly putting money into, but no AC, and I'm scared to drive it too far. That's why I haven't covered too many places in recent times, because I'm limited to how far I go. Which I'm saving money now to get another vehicle, and hopefully then, because I haven't even checked out Tampa side, St. Pete. And I was talking to a comic last night from Tampa, and he was telling me they're great. And I'm like, one day, one day. The furthest I've ever been was Lakeland, that side. And then the furthest on the east side is Jackie Knights, and then Melbourne. There's some arts, like in the arts district years ago. I forget, but it was the East Coast loves me, man. The East
Yeah.
Coast people, they love me. Daytona, all of them, they love me. I think it's my style, the blue collar kind of style, I guess, and say it like it is. I'm not afraid to call them up. No, I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, the East Coast. I love the East Coast. Like, I live in the middle of Jacksonville, Daytona, and stuff, and it's just so perfect for me. It's like, because there's like, when you go to the Gulf Coast of Florida, there's so many rules. Like, you can't take pictures, you can't have video, you can't have any of that stuff, and then it's just not fun. And then on this side of the coast, it's like there's like you can do whatever, like take photos of yourself or
Yeah,
or take videos. Like there, it's just a much better playground for comedy. So
the same for Pensacola, Fort Walton, Destin, Panama City. They're cool like that too up there. I did some shows up there, and those people are fun, cool people. They're more like Orlando. No, they're like if Orlando had a beach kind of people, you know.
yeah.
They're like a cross between an Orlandonian and a Daytonian if they had a baby. They're just
Ah,
fun people and so nice. I love that up there too. I
wow.
haven't been out of state yet, but one day.
One day for sure. Yeah, the outside world is pretty fun. Like I don't know, just it, Chicago's a very fun city. Like
Oh,
if you and Atlanta too, they're both fun cities. So
for comedy, yeah, I heard
yeah.
Atlanta's really super supportive of comedy, no matter your color or race, man. Or they're just cool with anybody. It sounds like fun. I always wanted to go to Atlanta for that too.
And a surprising city was Mobile, Alabama. They are just so fun.
Mobile, Alabama. Man, I got
Yeah.
some family in Dothan and Fort Payne, and like, I mean, I'm talking Alabama. Like rattlesnake churches kind of
Oh
people.
dang,
I mean, I won't go, but I'll sit back and watch. Have
for
future
sure.
go.
You mentioned Melbourne, and I think of like that something collective that was on the Galley, but down the street from there's like in Cocoa was Gregory's. You performed at Gregory's too, so how'd you get on stage at Gregory's?
How did I do that? I think Carmen Valone asked me if I wanted to do. It was either guest spot or hosting. I think it was guest spot. Yeah, it was guest spot at first, and I love the room. No, actually, it was on a venue with a few comics years ago. There was a Jacksonville comic. It was so long I don't remember their names, but Heather Shaw was on it. I remember that time. Heather Shaw was on the same. It was like 5 of us, and Big Tim Murphy was on it, and the room was full. It's a wasp. Sorry, and I loved it. I was like, wow, this setup's nice. It's a high stage, big room, nice, great food. And then Carmen had asked me after that a few months, hey, do you want to host or do a guest spot? And then started working with I believe her name is Dita or something, the owner.
Uta.
Loop, yeah,
Yep.
Anyways, then she started paying me more than what I was supposed to be getting. I was like, I was only supposed to get, which I shouldn't have said, but she's like, no, but you did good job. Or I can't do her voice, but so yeah, I like doing that. There is a certain comic headliner that I don't like to host for. I won't mention his name, but he's a big jerk, man. Like just
Oh,
a big jerk. Like one of those guys that'll just rip on you when they're on stage, just rip on the host because of the way they look or whatever reason. Which sticks and stones, it doesn't bother me. But after like 40 times of saying, "Look at this guy with diabetes, all sweating," that was when I was a little overweight, a little sweaty, and I just was like, "What a jerk, man!" And now I see why he's at the same level for so many years. He hasn't gone any higher, Probably the
oh.
reason. I won't say his name. I want you so bad.
We'll talk about him with the Bookers after the.
Yeah.
So you know who I won't like talk to anymore. So, because I like to work with like friendly people that are nice off, that kill on stage and nice off stage. Those are my people.
Yeah. This guy that I'm talking about, there's any comic I ever bring up, talk about him, they all same boat with me. They're like, yeah, he is a jerk. I can't stand that guy. One time I almost kicked his ass. This one comic said, I was like, what? And he told me the story, and I was like, what an asshole.
Yeah,
What a
so,
jerk. Tough guy, huh? Tough
jerks. I'm
guy in
telling you,
comedy doesn't work out. That doesn't make sense.
not
No.
at all.
Go be a boxer or MMA, but you're supposed to be funny and friendly, and people want to hug you and giggle,
Likable and lovable. It's all about
Yeah.
yeah,
I like
and
hugging.
big time. I did the Gregory's when Rudy Malumba had a show there called Late Night Menu or something.
Oh.
And so I just went there just to go support him. He goes, "You want 5 minutes?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do 5 minutes." And then like I started off like Jamie Moynihan was like, "Just start off like nice and easy and be clean," and I'm like, "Okay." And then he goes, "Then hit him with the dirty stuff." And so I did, and like Uta was like somewhere in the office, and she saw me doing like cleaning and going into dirty, and she was like blown away and stuff, and she was like, and I was like, yeah, there's no curse words in my set. So it's just like amazing.
That was awesome. That
Yeah.
was awesome.
So turn a negative into a positive. So
Oh yeah, for
yeah.
sure. To be able to turn around like that, occasionally I'll do that at some shows. Like I'll start off with a lisp, you know, for a little bit, and I'll just be talking like this for the longest time until I can see people like kind of looking around like this is annoying or whatever, and then I'll switch it up and be like, "Sorry, I got you, didn't I?" And they go, "Oh." But I like to mess with people every now and then, especially like an older crowd. I like to start off with a lisp and just because nobody can handle listening to that for too long, especially a comic. Come on, just getting
Yeah.
spit on and everything. Hawk to
Like
no, sorry,
like
sorry.
suffering succotash.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
So and then you also performed at the Improv and Funny Bone. And how'd you get into there?
Um, the improv. I took the class with Gary Menke years ago, the comedy class. Um, that's how I got into comedy. I mean, my father had died. We talked about this in the other interview in Cutie Pie. My father passed in 2009, but he did always said, you should go into comedy because you tell stories funny, and which I'm still working on. Because sometimes I'll be in a conversation with friends and they're like, you need to talk about that on stage. That's funny. Although I'm not seeing it as anything funny. You know what I mean? I'm still working on how to do that. But yeah, and then they have a graduation show there. And then sometimes comics like Jersey will ask you to do like a 420 show or, little benefit shows or joke offs, Um, that's the times that I've ever, it's always a good time too, man. That room, it's now Funny Bone. It was improv, but that room is so electric. Something about that room just gives people the giggles. It's like they must blow in pot smoke or something. I don't know what it is, but everybody laughs at everything. It's such a great positive. And then when you leave there, you have that high. Like when you kill it out of mind, you have that high that I tell people it lasts like about 4 hours. This elation. You don't want any drug. You don't want to drink. You just feel high naturally. It's such a good feeling. Now the days that you bomb, oh man, you're like driving home. I hate comedy. I'm never doing comedy again. I'm gonna get into art or music. Screw this. Then the next day there's an open mic. Maybe I'll try an open mic. The bombing sucks, man. It's a learning experience for sure.
Oh,
Ugh.
big time. That's where all the best stories come from, anyways. So,
And comics love to see other comics bomb. They
oh
love
yeah,
it. Oh, it's the best thing for them. They
it
just
really
laugh
is.
and laugh. And you see the audience members like, why are they laughing? He's having trouble. Good times. Ryan Holmes, he's always done that. Whenever I've bombed, I could hear him laughing so hard in the back, and then I start laughing. Then we're all laughing, and then that's my time. Gotta go. Oh, memories.
Oh man, that's when I always die laughing because I sit through so many open micers, on every Wednesday at the Nog, and I'm just like it's dying, and I'm like, but then as soon as they start bombing, I'm like dying.
I still have yet to go there. That's like one of the places that I've never been in all these years, and I've always wanted to because I see, the promotions or the people. Who's the other guy that's over there in Daytona? What's his name? He's getting bigger. He just had a baby. Um, what's his name? He just had a baby, and
Oh, Kevin Tibbert.
yes,
Yeah,
that motherfucker. When he laughs, every time I hear him laugh, I start laughing. It's one of those contagious laughs, man. He's funny as f. I really want to go check him out. Is he gonna be there on Tier Nog when I go there?
I can check because I think he's doing like because he has like his like crazy work schedule and stuff. He's gonna be there on the Friday of the show of the festival. So,
I might have to stop in on him and see him. It's been a minute. He's been supportive of me too.
oh, big time. He's one of the good ones for sure.
Yeah, and a new baby, so I know he's gonna be busting ass.
Big time. He's always working and
He's
he
a
rarely
giant.
comes out to the Nog, and so when he does, it's like it's always a joy. Yeah, I think he's supposed to be here next Wednesday too. So yeah, like whenever he brings his coworkers in, and it's just his coworkers. I'm like, all right, Kevin, pick my set, and then I let him pick all my jokes, and so
Oh,
I
cool.
just yeah, I
Oh,
just do it for them, and they just love it. So it's great. It's a good feeling when all your
success.
know your jokes, and you can just say, hey, which joke do you want to hear? And I just scare the audience with my jokes.
That's cool. You should do like a one. Somebody give me a number between one and da da da, and then you have the numbers next to the jokes. That's kind of cool, like karaoke roulette, but joke roulette or something. I don't know.
Big time.
I'm always
It's
thinking.
I put two of the videos out. I think one's in Jacksonville too, and it's called "Available Upon Request." And it's like just it was just like one audience member that was there after midnight, and the rest were comedians. And
Uh,
so I just did like a request thing. It's just fun. Yeah,
that's those are
good
always fun.
times.
I was at one place in, I think it was Kissimmee, some random spot in the middle of Kissimmee, and there was like four comics and four people. There's four people at a table and four comics, and all of them are like, "Oh, this sucks, man." I'm like, "You never know who you're gonna be." Turns out one of the persons at the table worked for some kind of agency, talent agency or whatever, and hired one of the comics for a commercial or something later on. And like I told him, I'm like, you never know who's there. You never know who's in the
Yeah,
audience. Even if it's two people, four people, do your whole set like it's a full room. Every time. If you don't have a mic, raise your voice a little louder. But definitely don't bum out and do a half-assed job just because it's a couple people. That's not good. I've been there, I've done that, and it doesn't get you anywhere. It's more fun to entertain people. I'm a jester, you know. I like to look at myself as a jester.
indeed. And so let's see here. So we covered all that stuff, and so let's update your answers for the Cutie Pie interviews if you'd like.
Okay.
Awesome. So what inspired you to perform stand-up comedy?
My father and friends telling me you're funny, you do funny voices. Why don't you try doing that? And I always wanted to have my own band. Like when I was younger, I'd go check out bands around town and thought how cool these guys are, man. They're in the club, people are there to watch them. Like I'd love to do that. So in a way, it kind of feels the same now. Kind of like a local band, local comic, same but different, different but same.
Yeah,
That's
I
how.
feel you on that one. I prefer the grind though over the fame any day of the week. So
Yes, yes, for sure.
yeah. And what was the feeling like when you first performed stand up?
What was it like?
Yep, the feeling like.
Nervous, full of nerves. It was Belle Isle Yacht Club or something over in Belle Isle near Conway, Florida. And it was after a comedy class. Me and a couple guys, Scott Orbany and a couple other guys, we were starting off. Let's go to this open mic and try what we learned in class, see what we can do. And I remember it being full, and I'm like, this is a shithole, but it's packed with people that are here for open mic, but nobody was going up on the open mic. So we went up there, and people were clapping and then like taking pictures with us. I'm like, it's the first time ever doing this. Why are you taking a picture with me? One of my friends actually has footage of the guy taking video of my first time on stage, which is crazy to see because I'm like, what is he, some weirdo? Is he gonna go play with himself later and look at me? I don't know what that was about. So yeah, it was nerve wracking. It was very very nervous the first time. Oof. I think it is for everybody though. I think so.
Big time. I know that's comedy for you. That's anything really. The first step is the toughest. So
Yeah, change can be good. Change is hard, but change is bound to happen no matter what. Like my son, I'm trying to get him to go to a different school, and he doesn't want to, and he's trying to bargain with me and all this crap. But I know, and the bottom line is, I've been there before, and new job, new whatever, and it's the change that's awkward. But after a few days or whatever, it's fine. It's fine. Just get over it.
for
Put my
sure.
foot down, boy. You're going to that school.
Yeah.
Get smart. Don't end up like me. God.
And what are your favorite comedy specials, comedy record albums, and podcasts? Comedy podcast.
I've always liked, Richard Pryor, old Eddie Murphy, Pablo Francisco, Michael Winslow, Amazing Jonathan. I always liked those styles. Very entertaining to me. Podcasts. I don't really listen to I listen to Joe Rogan every now and then, or watch the clips, the reels of summed up. Um, Comedy pod. Yeah, I don't really. I don't. I don't know. I'm old. I'm not really a pod. I used to do podcasts in 2009. I was one of the first three in Central Florida that had a podcast. Believe it or not, many years ago. But started interning at Real radio station, and then I put that aside like a dummy. Wish I would have stayed with it because who knows where we shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? Shoulda,
Yep.
coulda, woulda. Ah,
Podcasts are oversaturated anyway, so that's why I just do live streams. I'm like, there's no editing involved, no bumpy music, no sponsorships you gotta announce, and all that jazz. It's just like a regular conversation going straight to the YouTube.
yeah, if I were to choose to listen to a podcast, though, it would be informative and short. I
Yeah.
like those, like no longer than 12 minutes of just informative stuff about a particular. I like that. And Joe Rogan, he's so hot. No, he's not.
They're so long. They're like 3 hour interviews. Like Mark
I know.
Gagnon, he's doing 3 hour interviews. I'm like, come on.
It takes me all day to listen to one of his podcasts because I have to, do things or whatever, and I have to listen to it. The last one, they had some German guy talking about like methamphetamine and everything. It was super informative, man. It was super informative. I was blown away by the stuff they were talking about. But yeah, as far as comedy podcasts, I don't. I mean, I'll watch Kill Tony. The best of, or when they sum up everything in one little. I like that. That's cool. I
I
don't know.
usually like fast forward to all my friends, like
Yeah.
Cam and Jolly and
Yeah.
stuff. I'm like,
Same.
I I do this every Wednesday. Ugh, I can't even do this anymore.
Yeah. And then there's some people on there. You're like, what are they doing on there? My God, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
And
Shane
he,
Gillis, that guy cracks me up, man. That guy Shane Gillis is amazing to me. I laugh every time. I get his humor. I love that guy. That's probably, and he's probably in my top five
oh,
favorite
for
comedians.
sure. And some of those guys, like you mentioned, like Pryor and stuff, have been on TV and film. And what are your favorite sitcom sketch shows and comedy films?
Favorite sitcoms? Um, I used to. This is gonna show my age, man. But I used to like Facts of Life. No, I'm kidding. Like Cheers. I used to like Cheers because the writing was great. Um, Hogan Family. No, just stuff like that. Different Strokes. No, I see. I'm all shows. I like Breaking Bad. I love Breaking Bad. That was a damn great show. I love that. Uh, the Boys lately. I watching The Boys. I watched the final episode last week and for the season or whatever. Damn, just when you thought it couldn't get any grosser or vulgar, you're like, what? They're gonna get shut down. Like back in my day in Florida, Florida tried to, regulate Two Live Crew when their album came out. Do you remember all that? That was crazy. And I'm thinking, imagine if the Boys came out back then. Hell no, they would not have allowed that, man. But yeah, those are the I like, sitcom. I don't really watch sitcoms. I'm so busy and stuff. I don't. I'm trying to think. I don't. Probably when we hang up, oh yeah, there is a blah blah blah. And then what do you say? Movies? Like I like a good Marvel movie. Good hero movie, superhero, whatever. And then is that true with Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom? Is that real or is that a fake thing
I'm
scam?
pretty sure it's real. You know how they like to bring other actors that are the same that play the other characters. Like they put fun. Did you watch Deadpool and Wolverine?
That's the one that I'm dying to go see, but
Oh,
my
it's
kids
so
won't go see
good.
it with me because they're nerds or something. I don't know what's wrong with them. Come on.
I recommend watching it in 40x and 3D, like with the mash, the two together.
Is
Oh,
that the
it's
4D is where they do like you feel it too in the
yeah,
seat?
yep, it's so
Ooh,
fun. Yeah,
wow, that
yep.
sounds like a
Like
good time.
when they fight, like the seats shake when there's like water involved. They spray water at you. It's so
Uh,
fun.
that's awesome.
And get your 3D glasses too. So make sure you get that one because it's. I went inside in Jackson. It was like $23, but it's totally worth it. It's just so awesome.
I
It gets
mean,
people off their phones. It's so great.
that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. I would love to do that. I would love to see where what is that Oculus or whatever. If one day you could go to a comedy show without leaving your house, but you actually are in the theater and you can see people next to you, and you're watching it live. I think that'd be pretty badass. You can pay online your ticket and you show up for concerts or whatever. One day, right? One day.
One day. Just don't do it too much, or else you'll go get glasses in the long run. I
No,
guess.
I didn't. Your circulation from your sitting down watching a movie and doing this all damn day. Get up and walk around. Walk to the damn theater and go see it yourself.
Yeah, watch it at the damn theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you can go on tour with any comedian, locally and internationally known, which comedians would you like to go on tour with?
Ooh. Uh, you know, um, David Jolly is slowly blowing up, and they're starting to call him America's favorite uncle, which is unusual because I was uncle before he was uncle. But if he did like an uncle tour, that'd be pretty cool, man. David Jolly. There's so many people I'd like to go on. I wish, Bert Kreischer. Come on, I mean, I'm dreaming here. You know what I mean? Of course, um, Theo Vaughn. I mean, like these are all dream, obviously. But yeah, dream wise, for sure, people like that. I would kill Tony. Just amazing, amazing people. I'm trying to think of the comic I just said not too long ago. Damn.
Uncle Tony blacked out on his screen on his end, but
There we
I
go.
think
Sorry.
it's okay.
Damn.
Indeed.
Now my
But yeah,
volume isn't working, buddy.
well, I can hear you fine.
Oh no. Oh no. I can't hear you. I'm sorry. My
Oh,
phone had an alarm that just went off, and now can you hear me?
yep, I can hear you.
See, I can't. I wonder if I can try this. Let me see. No, I still can't hear you.
Oh,
Damn, buddy. I'm so sorry.
how about this? I'll
I I don't even know sign language, so it asks you to do that. But let's see. My on, speakers on, cams on. Um, Damn, bro. I'm so sorry. I apologize. My phone is
oh,
hot. I just took it out of the thing. That's probably what it is. My phone is so hot right
oh,
now, bro. Um,
dang.
you sent me a chat. log in and log back out. Oh, okay. Let's see if that happens. Let's see.
Sounds good. So we're waiting for Uncle Tony and his hot phone. We'll definitely do like a lightning round in, so hopefully it doesn't blow up, because that'd be pretty intense. But while you're out here, definitely follow and like and subscribe to this if you want, on social media. Comment below, and then all our social media info from Facebook, Instagram, link trees below. And if you'd like, you can donate to us. Service and Love Together. It's a homeless. It's benefits the homeless in Orlando. So just click on that and donate and help them out, and hopefully that Uncle Tony's dream comes true with the musicians and the comedians getting together and raising funds like a comic relief style for the homeless. So that'd be pretty rad. But hopefully Uncle Tony's okay, uh, and so far hopefully you like the interview. And I hear his bell, and here he is. Hey, Uncle Tony, can
Hey,
you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Wow, look at that. You're right. Just like
Fantastic.
video game. Turn it
Yeah,
off, blowing the cartridge. Blowing on the phone. That works.
indeed. Oh, I forgot to ask you what your favorite sketch show was too.
Sketch show.
Hmm.
What's
If
that
you
mean?
have any, like in Living Color, SNL, or
Oh
Mad TV,
God,
stuff like that.
bro! In Living Color, Mad TV. Oh my God, there's so many. In Living Color, I always like the Jamaicans with the jobs,
Oh
full
yes.
jobs, man. Or what was I think it was Mad TV, maybe Mrs. John, and then the look what I can do. You know, the guy that acted like a little boy.
Oh yes, Stewart. Yeah, and Mrs. Swan, and like Hey Mon was the other one. Was
Yes, man, they need to bring in Living Color. I think Living Color was a little better than Mad TV, but Mad TV was all we had it toward the end. And then old SNL back in the day was funny as hell, man. With Will Ferrell and Molly, all them people back then. It was just so great. Them people, what you mean by them people? They were good time, good time. But yeah, there was the one. Oh, oh, the woman used to go, oh, in Mad TV. I don't remember who that was.
Oh yeah, that was like I know what you're talking about. She played Stewart's mom too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. That shit was funny as hell, man. I don't know why they got rid of it. They need to bring it back. I was watching on the YouTube old stuff from that the other day, and I'm like, man, that shit hit good. It was so funny.
For sure. Definitely get it on physical media and don't stream it, because they'll edit out the offensive stuff. So definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
And let's see if you can get roasted by five comedians, top five dead or alive. Which comedians would you get roasted by?
What I did I like? I'm
Would you
sorry.
like to get roasted by?
Oh, get roasted by? Yeah. Definitely Richard Pryor would be good. Dave Chappelle, that'd be awesome. Amazing Jonathan. Um, Michael Winslow roasting me with like his sound effects. That would be pretty funny. Pew pew, or whatever. That's 4 or 5. Let's go ahead and say fuck it. Kill Tony. Have him roast me. Oof, that'd be a good one.
Heck yeah! I saw Dave Chappelle at the
Oh,
your Amway, when it was called the Amway.
that
I was like
guy.
the very top of the nosebleeds, but I was just like,
Uh,
I had to go see him. He's a
that's
god.
awesome,
So
man. That
yeah.
that guy is a killer. That guy is a killer. I love that guy. That guy, like I said, he's in my top 3 for sure.
Hmm.
Definitely.
Oh,
Just his stance on comedians and how people, take the joke. Just that alone is he's the one that's. And I hate to sound weird by saying this, but he's the one that's helped bringing back the R word. You know, I won't say it, but he's the one that's helped bringing it back. And now middle schoolers are using it, and then they're using it on Kill Tony. I tried it last night; didn't really hit that great, but
yeah,
eventually it'll come back full force.
indeed. I mean, you can get
Just
away
that
with it
word.
in like certain rooms, like Daytona and stuff, but like certain cities, but like, because it's like if it's funny, it's funny. It's like, you
Yeah,
can't. But yeah, I usually pick on myself, because it's like Carmen said, always try to make it as personal as you can,
yeah,
and then they'll love
for
you for
sure.
it. So, yeah.
For sure. I was working on a joke recently. I've been working on one about. This is gonna sound terrible, but it, it, uh, and this all started. Look, I'll tell you. I went to a room. I did a room last week, and the only person working there was so hot. This chick was hot, like, mid 20s, but she was deaf. And then the middle school side of me was like, is there deaf porn? Is it deaf porn? And then what did they sound like? So then I went, and then my head went crazy. So now I'm trying out this thing, but I relate it as like my ex, or my wife is deaf, and she's really horny, and she has a lisp too. So I do the whole, she's deaf, has a lisp, and really horny all the time. So you can imagine the voices that I use.
I can't wait to see it live. So awesome, but
Still work in progress, but I don't know. I'm
for
retarded.
sure. Where do you see your comedy journey in the next 5 years?
What's that?
Where do you see your comedy journey in the next 5 years?
Doing? I don't. I guess I need to visualize that. I haven't actually visualized or manifest anything like that. I guess I should. I I expect, I guess, the rate that it's going to just, uh, man, I don't know. Who knows? I'm more focused on producing my shows for the comics than myself. I know that sounds like I'm not trying to be greedy or whatever, but it's the truth. I probably need to, set a goal for my comedy, and thank you. I actually needed that. I haven't really thought about that, but definitely should. Shit, you got me thinking now, man. I don't know, but where would I? Yeah, I mean, of course, I would like to be a headliner, touring around, getting that big money, like that improv money, that $5,000 a night money, that would be nice. I don't want to do the cruise ships though. I have comic friends that do that, and they tell me it's bad, it's not good. The money's great, but ugh. So yeah, I
That's
guess I would like to be a headliner feature within 5 years and travel, making money, supporting my family. As long as I'm able to eat and they're able to eat, I'm fine with that. I don't have to be a millionaire or super rich.
I mean, that's what usually happens with like high paying jobs. Like the pay is great, but you're miserable. Like it's horrible. Like my highest paying job made me miserable. Like and the low job or for the free job made me always happy. So
Yeah,
it's so bizarre.
for real. That was probably why I like doing guest spots for so long for Bonkers, because I don't really have any obligations. I can say what I want, but I don't get paid.
Yeah,
So that
indeed.
sucks.
So we got an audience member in the audience in the chat. So if you like, you can interact with us. If not, be nice to us if you can.
I don't
So
know if there's a chat. I can't. I don't see that, but
oh, I see it on my
what
end. So
does it
yep,
say?
nothing yet. They're just watching. So
Ah,
just a few more questions, and then I promise I'll let you go. And Uncle Tony's blacking out
my
again.
thing went. There we go. You back? Shit.
Sounds good. And
Sorry, my
so
alarm keeps going off.
oh, it's okay.
Fuck, I lost your volume again, bro.
Oh yeah, it's gonna log back in
I'm
and log
sorry. If you want to
us.
end this, that's fine. Otherwise, I can try to come back in if you want me to.
Yeah, do that, and then just a few. Yep. So he'll be back in a little bit, hopefully, and it's like it's live. So what can you do? I don't feel like editing anyways. So how are you doing today? Anyways, hopefully you're doing well. Oh, it's a Quez here. Hey, Quez, great to see you, my friend. We did our church show together, and great to see you, bud. That was a crazy, fun comedy show that we did. It's always a pleasure sharing the stage with you too. So, how's your day going? I'll talk with you while we wait for Uncle Tony to come back. Here's Uncle Tony. Um,
Sorry about that. Every time the alarm goes off on my phone, it's
oh, for sure.
too
It's
much for it to handle.
have you met Aquez from Melbourne? He's in the chat with us. So,
A Quez?
yep.
I don't think so. I mean, if I seen his face, maybe I'd know. Why does he say he knows me? Is he?
Oh, he just said hello to us, and we did a
Oh,
church show together like a while back. It was a fun time.
oh,
So,
cool. I would
yeah,
love to do a church show sometime, man. I love doing clean comedy too. Uh,
it's
I
rough.
I rarely cuss, at
Yeah,
all. Other than last night using the R word.
yeah.
I don't know if that's a cuss word or not.
Yeah. So
Can't
Quest
do that
says,
in church.
it was a pleasure being on the show with you as well, and I'm doing good at work. How are you? I'm like, I'm doing pretty good. So I'm doing well. Uh, and he goes, he hasn't met you before, so hopefully you guys get to work together. That'd be pretty
Yeah,
rad. Share the stage.
I'm
Um,
definitely down with positive people for sure.
Heck yeah, he's a really positive dude. So if you want to do a church show, reach out to Jonathan Gordon. He wears the goat hat out at Grumpy's. He travels to do that. So
Goat hat. Is that what you
yep,
said?
yep,
What
yeah.
does that mean? Is it like a goat? Like a
Like greatest of all time. That's what the
oh goat?
acronym.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking
Yeah,
an animal. I'm like, what? He's
yeah,
wearing a goat. Where does he put the horn? You know? Okay, I understand now.
yeah,
That's my middle school brain again.
for sure. We'll definitely just like three left, three or four more questions, but we'll go through them like lightning round if you want. And
Yes, my
so
phone is getting so hot, bro. I'm
oh,
so sorry. Yeah,
it's
let's do
okay.
it.
Yep.
Let's do it.
So what's your favorite joke a comic has ever written?
Favorite joke. Comics ever written. Honestly, I hate to say his name, but Bill Cosby with the cake, giving the kids cake, you know, because it has eggs and bread and all this stuff. That bit is still cracks me up, you know. It's funny, it's simple, you know. That's actually one only one I can remember. But amazing Jonathan with the mic stand, you know, where he'd make it look like it would fall on the people in front every time he'd get them, and he'd count them off. That was four, you know.
Yeah.
That's a good
And
time.
what experience would you like your audience to take with them after a set is over?
Experience. Feel good. Feel good. Um, Realize that life is more than just judging or being negative. There's positive things to look out for out there. Get out and laugh. Tell your friends. Come back and laugh some more. You know, something new. I try to keep my comedy evolving rather than staying the same bits. You know, sometimes I'll throw in old bits, but a lot of times I'm trying new stuff out. You know, I want them to leave with their stomachs hurting from laughing so hard. That's what I want. I want them to laugh hard, you know, and get embarrassed about it. You know, that's what I want. Definitely.
For sure. Same here, bud. And so this is the Stand Up Speakeasy. It's a secret society of stand up comics. And which five comedians in the Orlando area would you like to see as a future guest on the Stand Up Speakeasy?
On this podcast, you mean?
Yep.
Just kidding. I'm not frozen. I had to. Let's see. I would like to see Scott Orbany would be good on here. Um, Definitely. Let me think. Who's the one guy? Damn it. He just hosted last night on the Bush. It's bugging me. I can't think of his name, bro. Damn.
I wish
So, huh?
I wish I could tell you, like Eric Feeling or something. I don't know.
Eric would be good. Has he been on yet?
I don't think so.
Eric's funny. I love him in the titty meats. Always talking about titty meats. You know,
Yeah.
he's working out. He goes to work out. He's got to work out the titty meats. Is what he's talking about. And that's his laugh. I got it down pat.
Oh yeah, he sounds like a motorcycle.
Yeah, it does. So yeah, Scott Orbany. Let's see, Eric Feeling. Carmen would be fun on here too. Carmen Malone. Who else? There's so many. Big Tim would probably be able to do it for you from California.
Yeah.
You know who the funny ones are. You're just asking my opinion. I mean, I trust your opinion. How about that? Whoever
Indeed.
you pick, I am with you.
Sounds good. I'll be sure to reach
Oh
out to all
wait,
those
no,
guys.
J.J. Miller. J.J.
Oh yeah.
Miller. He does, and I've been coercing him to do more voices because his character voice is like Jesse the Body Ventura. Holy shit, it's uncanny. You definitely got to get J.J. Miller. He's a young comic, up and coming, but he's climbing, man. Look out for that guy. I've had him on one of my shows too, and he's a nice guy. He's so nice. He looks mean, like angry, but he's really nice. He's a sweetheart inside. Don't tell him I said that.
Yeah, all right. I won't. Yeah, Quest says JJ Miller's good too, so that's heck yeah. So thank you to JJ and Quez and for joining us in chat, Uncle Tony.
J.J.
And
Miller's
tell
in there.
oh no, just he just
Oh,
shouted out JJ Miller But we'll talk about those the headliner and then the booker that you were told not to, that we did talk on stage
Oh
here.
yeah.
Uh, Join us at the Trinidad Irish Pub from October 2nd through the 5th. We're going to have one date at Punk Rock Pizza too. So yeah, donate whatever you can and enjoy some comedy and some storytelling and all that good stuff. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the Stand Speakeasy. We'll see you next time. Be well. Take care.